everybody, to a new episode of In Search of Zen. We are your hosts, AJ Bate
and Jason Allen.
Welcome to a lovely, lovely new Tuesday. Hope your day is going great. Happy Family Day.
This is being recorded on Family Day.
This is being recorded on Family Day, but happy Family Day. We're your family. Who's your family? Call your family.
We're your family. Call me family.
We are family.
Yeah, we're your family.
Yeah, we
That's
are
always
family.
We are your family.
I got my brothers and my sister and my dad just fuck me. All right. There's a lot of abuse.
Yeah, a lot of abuse in that song.
Yeah, it feels like.
Everything okay?
I want to talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it. Can you imagine? You're like opening up to someone and they're like, actually, no, thank you. Can I tell you something? No, you can't.
Hey, Jason,
you cannot tell me
I've been
something.
having a lot of thoughts recently. Can I talk to you about it?
No, keep those thoughts to yourself, big guy.
Okay, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, now it's over. That's hilarious.
And then people would ask you, like, were there any signs? You're like, not that I can. I'm trying to think right now.
I wish he had said something to me, you know. I would have been happy to be
He
there.
always kept it close to his chest, never opened up. He just never did. Oh, what a horrible living. Oh, my God. It sounds like something like a Larry David would do.
Yeah. That's the Bell Let's Talk campaign. It's to, like, show a sketch of the asshole friend. He's like, no, don't.
Hashtag
don't
how
talk
about
to me.
not?
How about no? Let's not talk.
How about let's not talk Rogers? It's just like the completely anti-campaign.
Yeah, they're like, mental health is bullshit.
Rogers just
they
goes
go the
in
complete
hard.
other way. Yeah.
It's like,
oh, you're depressed, you fucking pussy.
yeah,
Get up and go for a
yeah,
walk.
go fuck you. Yeah, I know it's if you want to talk about it, please do. You know, you should talk about it. To
Yeah.
people who are listening.
Don't listen to me.
Just don't really talk to me about it.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
I have nothing to say. I would just nod and just be like, that sounds rough.
Bro, I got my own demons.
Dude, I got my own demons, bro.
I can't listen to you right now.
Dude, I got my own nightmares. Do you think you can handle me? You can't handle me. It's like, relax. You're not edgy at all.
Nobody's darker than us.
Nobody's darker than us because we don't really talk about how dark we are. That's how you know we're
That's
dark.
how you know we're actually dark.
If we were actually constantly on this, you'd be like, oh, dude, I'm so fucked up. You would be like, all right, you guys are really not. But the fact that we smile about it, and it's just that's how you know you're dark.
Be afraid.
Be very, very afraid.
How's your week been? This week has been fucked.
This week, I mean, what can I say? This episode feels the same as any episode between episode 20 to this episode. It's just, you know, it's like a limbo of just self-repetition, just
crazy
repetitiveness. And the snow didn't help. We got like an insane snowstorm in Ontario, and it's just, oh my God, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm starting to like have like really. I left my conspiracy theory days behind me, but now they're coming back.
They come back. That's the problem.
Back.
That's the problem. And I saw these two people on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Okay.
And they were like, it might have been created in a lab. And I was like, yeah, you know what?
I want to believe that.
It is.
It's because you want
government because you want to blame somebody. You're so mad. You just want to be like,
just
it
want
was
answers.
you. It was you, and I want answers. As to
it
why
was
you did
Who
this.
Who was you? We don't know.
It was that's my dream. I have a dream where I find the person. Like it is started by
it's
somebody.
The person.
It's the person. In my mind, it's a person, and I have them in a chair, and I go, you. I'm gonna take the year you wasted out on me. I'm gonna hit you as many times as I can to get that year back. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but obviously, I'm sure it's not some person.
It's a bunch of people.
It's a team.
It's a team of yous.
Of evil pedophiles.
That's also the other thing. Because you're angry at somebody you don't know, so in your head you paint them as evil. They're pedophiles.
They're everything. They're everything that's wrong.
They smoke crack. Like they.
Well, I don't care if people smoke crack.
I know.
That's your business if you want to put jokes. But don't touch kids. Don't start viruses.
Don't touch kids, dude. That's not nice.
I got 2 rules, baby. Don't touch the kids.
Leave them kids alone.
Don't start the viruses.
Don't start the fire
okay?
and leave them kids alone.
I'll start some fires. Who cares? Have fun. You know what I mean? But yeah, those are my 2 rules.
It's a burning desire to start fires and just really, you want to say that I understand what's going on, and you want to say that it's gonna be done soon. It's like, but when is soon? Nobody knows when soon is.
Yeah.
And you want to be a good person. You want to wear a mask.
No, of course. The mask isn't even what bothers me anymore. What bothers me, I'll wear a mask for the next 3 years if I can go in places.
I haven't gone sick this winter, by the way.
No, same.
I think the masks really do a good job.
In general.
I just didn't want people to yell at me. That's why I wore it.
Yeah. You just wear it to not deal with the bullshit. I get it.
But it apparently works, yeah.
But it does work, I think, for certain things. And also just less contact with humans, the less chance of you getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely not been sick with anything for over a year.
Yeah, but I mean, you at one point it's not even it's not even about the mask, like you said. You're right. The mask thing is not that hard to do at all.
No,
but it's just more how life has become about 2 or 3 things that you just do over and over again.
It's the monotony. Again. Yeah. It's the monotony more than anything.
Like, dude, I get excited when I take out the garbage.
Because it's a task.
That's how bad it is.
Do. Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's terrible.
Like before, sometimes I would walk and I look at my bathtub and I'm like, I'm too busy. I'll clean it later. Now I'm like, well, somebody needs to clean this. And I have to I'm like, I'm like a meth head that's just cleaning everything now because I'd rather do that than just complete nothing,
Right.
And I don't know what that's.
No, I'd like to apologize to the meth head community.
I'm not saying that the meth head. I love me a meth head. I love the meth heads.
Okay.
MH all the way. But I heard that meth heads when they're in the middle of their addiction, they have tendencies to want to clean a lot.
Yeah, crazy. That is
that's
true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
My buddy Paul had
shout out Paul.
Not really a joke. I don't know what it was. It was like an idea. Mm-hmm. It was like maybe a sketch. It would have been, but he never did anything with it. Mm-hmm. But about you give maids crystal meth and you call it crystal clean.
Nice.
Or meth maids or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
That was his big idea.
That would
fail.
Yeah, no, it would definitely fail miserably, and you would definitely get canceled. That's the other thing too. People now more and more people are getting canceled now for just anything, and I think it's because we're all bored. Some people might have slipped by if things were normal. But I think it's because everybody has nothing to do now.
What's your take on that?
The Star Wars lady?
Yeah.
No, I think she's stupid.
She's stupid.
Very stupid.
That's what I
just
think about
very. It's such an.
Can we explain? I don't even know how to say her last name.
Kara Carano, Gina
Carano,
something
sure.
like that.
We'll
whatever.
That
Gina. First of all, can I say this? I think she's hot.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Bad-looking lady.
I'll say that. Yeah. But however, what she did was very stupid. Here's my thing though. When you're working for a company like Disney, how about you shut the fuck up?
Just shut the fuck up. I've never worked a job in my entire life where I thought this is the job where I can mention my hot takes on Nazis. You know what I mean? Where I could say anything about Nazis, good or bad.
Yeah.
And I have varying opinions.
Yeah, no,
no, obviously not.
You take the good with the bad. That was Hitler's motto. He was like, Hitler, stop. He was like, well, okay, well, we're not going to talk about all the other good things. Yeah, sure. Killing Jews is bad. But look at all these things, huh?
Yeah.
Look at the uniforms. That's pretty cool.
You work for a company.
Yeah.
You work for, you just got to... not talk about I've never been dying to praise Hitler or
definitely not
to sympathize.
A lot of things I want to say about Hitler. None of them are praise.
None of them are nice. Got
nothing to say to that guy.
But also, if you're working a job and you're representing a giant company, maybe just don't mention Nazis at all.
Just
in any of your tweets.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just the Star Wars lady for a while.
Yeah.
And you don't give your fucking hot takes on World War II or how bad it was or how bad it is to be a Republican.
Yeah.
How about you shut the fuck up
and
think about fighting the force?
Well, that was fighting. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it was the same thing with Bob Saget. Not the Bob Saget. Even when he was on Full House.
Oh, you keep it clean, baby.
He was a dirty comic before that, and he stopped doing all those dirty jokes. He stopped doing comedy, I think.
You protect the job.
Because that's
what you want.
Because that Full House money was good.
Yeah, so I don't feel bad for this lady.
No,
you lose The Mandalorian. I'm like, you kind of chose to. You could have done what Bob Saget did. You could have put things on the back burner and gotten back to it when the show was done.
Yeah,
and you
don't say back burner with.
Oh,
Nazis,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But you lose the Mandalorian. Now you wish you can get in a DeLorean and go back and not do that.
Oh my God, you're canceled.
In a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, no, it was so, and that goes to, it's so very ironic. First of all, there are a few things that are ironic. Number one, Disney company that was founded by Walt Disney, who was a raging anti-Semite. If he was alive, he would probably be really pissed off that they fired her because they were like, she raises a few.
Let's let her talk.
Let her keep on. Go ahead. But the other thing, it is so very interesting that how people on the right that accuse a lot of people on the left for being sensitive. Meanwhile, literally, her post was just more like, poor us. We're
Her post
so
is
bullied.
Like, it's so hard to be a Republican.
Yeah, it's so hard. Wah. And it's very ironic how, and just really goes to show you that, and I really hate to be the guy that like both sides are bullshit, but really goes to show you, never hitch your wagon to something unless you definitely genuinely believe in it. Never believe the hype about anything.
Right.
Always make if whatever side you choose to be on, or whatever it is, as long as it's like a conscious decision that you genuinely believe in.
Right.
Don't ever follow what anybody ever says, because most people are really full of shit and don't have.
A
solid belief system.
No,
we're full of shit. I'm full of shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. If Tina Carrero was here, I'd.
Oh, it's sucking those titties. Sucking those MMA titties.
No, I wouldn't do that. But
like shoot some force in my face right now.
I let her tweet whatever she wanted.
I would let her tweet on my face.
Oh my God.
But yeah, what do you think about it?
No, it's the same. It's just like people go, cancel culture nowadays and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like we didn't have social media before. So yeah, now more people are seeing it, and you still represent a company in your time off. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. That's like just how it goes. You can't spout off about certain things. I remember I did other podcasts before, like when I used to work in social service work and stuff like that. And if they tried to get me to talk about it too much, I kind of have to pull back and be like, well, I can't complain, or I can't shit on this like conservative government that just came in and cut all our funding, because like we meet with them sometimes, like, and they're in London or something like that. If we have like a conservative MP or mayor or anything like that, I can't really like bitch about him right now because I represent, it was like the Unity Project or the Salvation Army, and like you kind of have to watch yourself, right? So it is just, that's the game with any line of work. And if people don't. And that was before everybody was getting fired on fucking Twitter comments and stuff like that, right? So it's always been like that. You're like, oh, you can't say anything anymore. It's like, no, you couldn't have said what she said in a fucking break room. At any job you have, you couldn't say being a Republican's like is as bad as being a Nazi. You couldn't say that in a break room in front of your employer. Nobody could say that. So this isn't cancel culture. Any year, 85, 75, 65, you couldn't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, the analogy is very very stupid and very silly, and it doesn't make sense at all. The comparison itself is really dumb, and she could have used any example, but she went to that. And I think it's because, again, when I feel like people use Nazis in the Holocaust,
oh, there's a huge exaggeration
as every time they can't find, like, they want to really aggressively make a point, they'll go for that because it gets people's attention, right? So that was a very lazy analogy, and it really you can tell that she was just like frustrated, but didn't know why or how to explain it properly, so she just went big time, just like went for all the marbles, right? And it didn't pay off. and I don't, you know what? At the end of the day, God bless. I'm sure she'll be fine. But it really goes to show you, like we said, there's a certain way that you need to carry yourself depending on where you are in life. If I was working for Walt Disney, I'm not going to talk about anything political. That's just a part of my life. That's a part of my identity that I won't discuss until either my show's over or I don't work for them anymore.
And she's not losing anything by doing that, because it's not like she was known for being a political pundit or something.
No, and
she was
it's
known
not her job.
as a UFC fighter who was getting into acting.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't need this from you. We just don't.
Yeah, for some reason that's like a stand she showed, a burning desire in her. I don't know if she wanted to be a martyr or something like that. I don't know what was her objective there, but
I heard she didn't even get fired. I heard that she was out of contract anyways, and they might have brought her back on. And then after that, they were just like, "Well, we're not bringing you back on."
Yeah, well, but really, what it is, it doesn't really matter. That's how people are going to interpret it, right? That's just
they're going to call it like a firing when really it was like, no, you.
Yeah,
just
but I believe even if she was on contract, they would have let her go.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
I don't think that was like the biggest reason, but yeah, man, I do believe that there is as you get older, you start to realize that there are certain parts in your life where you're gonna have to compromise, and it's really okay. You might have to kind of give up a little bit of part of you just to be able to afford to do something that you love and getting paid handsomely for it, and just kind of avoid that conflict, right? And it's like the kind of, and that's, I think, like the arrogance of, I guess, maybe not having kids, that kind of lets you go ahead and just do whatever you want. Because
some people think that, yeah.
Because you don't have kids, right? So you don't give a fuck. But like, again, we go back to Bob Saget. Like, he talks about it. He had kids at the time.
So it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fuck up their life?
So he's like, I just gotta take care of my kids.
You keep the job.
You keep the job, buddy. You keep the job. It's not worth it. But yeah, man, that's the bed she made, and I hope I get to snuggle in that bed once.
No, you're both terrible. You're both Holocaust deniers.
Well, hey, listen. Just because I tell you that in confidence doesn't mean that it's something I need to be in public.
It's out there now.
Everybody knows.
I know, this week's been brutal. The snow. The snow, man. Like fucking, it was like 5 days straight of 6 inches of snow every day. How are you keeping up? How are you handling it?
It was like it got really bad because there was like a bank of snow that kind of started to develop right.
Like where you're about to like pull into your driveway?
Yes, exactly.
Same happened to me.
So I had to kind of shuffle it and then like put it on the front lawn.
Right.
And I couldn't help but like just remember that video we were talking about, the shooting. And I was like, you know what? It's really fucked up, but I just kind of get it. It's like, I saw one of my neighbors, they park, because the side of the street that you're allowed to park on is on where our house is.
Right.
So the neighbors, park on that side, and then obviously they were trying to get in their own car, so they were brushing off the snow. And it's not that it's a lot of snow, but it's like I just finished.
I just did this,
and they're like, and it's like I want to. I like it's like for a second. I was like, I get it.
Yeah. Well, especially if they started calling you a queer and stuff like that.
I'd be like, how did you know?
How'd you know? Anyways, I'm gonna go get my gun.
Like I'm just like flattered, but at the same time,
like, good eye, but also I'll be right back with my gun.
Can you wait for a second, please?
Please wait here. Just hold on one sec. Love you, thanks.
Love you, bye.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. It's like I'm the same, because like my side, the side of the street you can park on is the side of the street my house is on.
Mm-hmm.
And the cars will pull up there, and then I have nowhere to dump the snow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Side to side. So I'm dying for a car to move, to push all that snow in there and be like, I guess you don't park in front of my house anymore.
Yeah,
you find another spot, because I got to get rid of this fucking snow.
You got to figure it out, yeah.
Not my problem.
No.
You know what I mean? I got to clear my driveway so my wife can get to work every day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so.
And yeah, man, like that amount of snow was just more. It was just an adding to the misery
Of like what's already happening.
Yes.
And then the one thing that I do right now, because you know I don't work from home. I was doing I was living off stand up, so I don't work at all right now, and I'm just collecting CERB and being like, I hope they don't come for 60% of it or whatever the fuck this works in tax season or whatever. The only thing I have going for me is I'll go for a drive and I'll kill some fucking time. But when it's like Snowmageddon for like 3 days straight and the roads are fucked, I'm like, well, I'm not taking my car out.
It's hard.
And like it's so annoying to drive in this. Why drive in it if I don't have to? So I'm just sitting in here going crazier than I have all year. Because now you're in like complete lockdown.
Yeah, it's in like just complete lockdown. There's nothing to do, and you start to realize that the only thing that I can do is actually go out and shovel snow. How fun!
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what are you gonna do? There's nothing else to do. And so you find yourself just repetitively 5 times a day, like you said. It was the point where you had to go out and like shovel like 3 times, maybe 4 times.
Yeah,
and it's
day.
like, fuck this, man. Fuck this.
Yeah, you just get angrier and angrier.
I'm just like starting to lose lose my mind and sanity, like piece by piece, slowly. And I'm just like, and again, like I talked about, like you start going back to conspiracy theories, because I'm thinking to myself, man, okay, what if like we start getting pandemics more and more?
Right.
Like, what if when this is over,
2
or 3 years later,
a couple years around the corner, yeah.
Oh, another one, and then it's like, what are you gonna do then? I mean, one of two things will happen. Either people will be like, "Oh, I guess we're gonna go back," or either people are gonna be like, "No, fuck this," and then
we're not going through that
the whole
again.
thing is like set on fire. Like, who knows? And that's like something that really concerns me. And again, man, it really does sound fucked up. And it's not that, it's not that I don't want people to be safe and nobody gets sick. I have a relative that passed away from COVID, so it's not like I don't believe that it's true or anything.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
like,
the other thing. It's like everything's so fucking. It's always like us versus them. Them can be anybody that disagrees with.
Yeah, the use. Yeah,
and that's the fucking problem now. Is that I go like, I don't think our fucking government has handled this the best, or like. Like where the fuck are our vaccines? And suddenly it's like, oh, you fucking anti-masker. You hate old people. I'm like, no.
Well, I do hate old people. That's a different story.
But that's a whole other thing. But no, it's not like that. It's like, it's so fucking funny because it's usually people that are like, don't trust the government. Don't trust. They lie to you. You got to watch yourself. You got to hold politicians accountable. And now those same people through a lockdown, when you're like, yo, this fucking sucks. They're like, well, why don't you take some personal responsibility? I'm like, why are you sticking up for the government? They changed. You know what I mean?
It's flippy floppy, man. It's wishy-washy. It's just so.
It's like those like. Because again, I'd say like I like lean left on pretty much everything. But I think left-leaning people are generally like, yeah, question your government. Like, don't, like, not wild conspiracies, but at the same time, like, don't put up with shit from people, and the government should help you and stuff like that. But then the government's fucking up in all these ways, and then you'll see like a post about like numbers are through the roof because Doug Ford's not doing anything, and people are like, well, I think people need to take personal accountability. People walk wherever they want in the store, and they're not following the arrows. I'm like, are you sticking up for the government on Facebook?
What happened?
You think they need you right now?
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
It really drives me insane when middle class people or poor people stick up for rich people. It really irks me so much. It makes me feel so sad for those people, and it just makes me feel like, dude, you realize that you're not invited to their parties.
Yeah, no, they want nothing
to
do with you.
They don't want to hang out with you. They have a clubhouse, and you're not allowed. But you act Like you're handing out flyers outside of their club. They're not even asking you to be there, and you're just hanging out, hoping to get in, and they're not gonna let you in. So how about you take care of you? Take care of number one.
Yeah, figure your shit out.
Figure your
man.
shit out, and leave rich people to doing their rich shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Yeah, you see that a lot with like people defending millionaires and like big businesses and stuff, and you wonder, it's like, oh, I guess you think that you're gonna be that. You must think that you're gonna be that. But even then, it's like sticking up for them doesn't help you be that. So like, why are you saying anything?
I think it's just really latching on to something. I think what it is like it's like kind of making sense of things, and some people's brains tend to go to certain places just depending on one person to the other, right? But some people tend to think that is, if I say, well, you gotta be accountable, blah blah blah, and that's because that makes sense to them. That's what makes everything click and makes everything come together. And that's really, if you look into it, really that's all what we're trying to do, right? Like what us talking on this podcast is just us trying to kind of make sense of like all this bullshit. It's not that we not that they were necessarily always right, even though I do think we're always right. It's very rare that we're wrong.
No,
but
we're never wrong.
We're never wrong. But I think that just people like tend to compartmentalize things that way.
Right.
That's a good word, right?
That's a word. You did it.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? Because like, some stuff is gonna open up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how much in Hamilton.
So you told me about this. Can you get me to walk me through this? I don't know when it really. I hadn't heard about this. I haven't watched the news, but tell us what you know.
There was a gym that I was a part of that I'm no longer a part of. However, I must have still been on their email list because I got an email about like, hey, if you can book appointments again because gym's opening in your region. So that's like 10 people. However, the gym I'm at now will also be open, and there'll be like, I guess, 10 people. So I know that there are businesses opening. I assume anything up Ottawa Street, like near where I live, like any of the cafes, the record store, stuff like that, will be open again to like 10 people. Maybe some dining in, I guess.
Okay.
What have you heard?
I have not. I honestly
haven't heard anything.
I really have not watched the news or anything. I've only legitimately this weekend.
Just because of the gym email that I got, it's got to be at least 10 people inside.
Yeah, I would say 10. I honestly
not at your house though. At your house, gatherings of 10 outside and still 0 inside.
0. Okay. So what was it before? It was 5 outside. In your
backyard in the freezing fucking cold if you want.
Yeah, that's what everybody loves to do.
So that's like a non-issue because that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, in the wintertime, it's still nobody wants to hang out.
It's not happening. No, I'm not standing in somebody's front yard.
But you can still go to places and 10 people allowed inside.
Yeah, and then at other places it's different, right? Because like I saw a comic that I know post that he's going to be hosting at Absolute Ottawa, so the club's reopening, and that club wouldn't reopen at 10 people in there.
Yeah.
It's got to be 50. It's got to be 50 people.
It wouldn't make sense for them. But Ottawa's a hot spot, like the same as Toronto.
I guess it was, but maybe it's doing so well that
maybe they are, yeah.
And they're keeping us at lower numbers because we're close to Toronto, I guess.
I guess, because we are still a risk still. But I honestly think that's a really good thing, man. I think the numbers did go down since they did the complete lockdown. I've heard. Right. Obviously, they were worried about the strain or whatever the fuck it is.
What do you mean about like
new strain? Yeah, but I think that loosening up a little bit and opening up places to go dine in, I think that's a big deal. Just even to be able to go to a place and sit down and eat, even though it's just with you and 5 other people, I think that still makes a difference. That's nice.
Right. Yeah, it's something. Kind of like look forward to or do maybe once in a while.
A show?
No, like just to meet up with people.
Yeah, man.
and
absolutely.
like
absolutely. Just to
I'm
go.
not thinking about shows. Like, where am I going to do a show?
That's the
You know
other
what I
thing.
mean?
Like, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, well,
With
yeah.
people who are looking to catch up with their friends, like, I'm not doing a show.
Yeah, with like the Ottawa Absolute Club, I guess that's
They'll
open.
be fine, but that's a comedy club. Like, that's what it's designed for. So people that wanted to go out and see live comedy again, that will be there for them. And that will be 50 people.
Yeah.
But, like, what are you going to do, a bar show in Hamilton for 10 people who
No.
actually just wanted to catch up with each other?
Yeah. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That would happen even without a lockdown, but
It's true.
it wouldn't only be 10 people in Hamilton. But I don't see the absolute thing. I don't even want to get my hopes up, to be honest, because yeah, we'll talk about it, but then afterwards they're like, oh, well, they can't have many people in, or then it's going to be different restrictions.
Or are we going to another lockdown?
It's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
I won't get my hopes up until we finally like start creeping into the orange or something like that.
Sure.
But it is the end of the world as we know, folks. Sorry, what was that?
Well, like, still no vaccine.
No vaccine.
And then where are they coming? In March?
I heard March, yeah. And I think we won't, our age range won't get it. We'll be the last ones to get it.
Well, the people that are the first ones to get it are taking forever to.
Well, Canada hasn't
get
started
that.
at all. They're kind of
Hamilton's
so
like-
suspected of, like, they're kind of suspicious of this all stuff. They're not quite clear yet. But they're saying in March they're going to hopefully start. You might get it a bit early because you have diabetes.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I just care about, like, let's get this going. The States is releasing like 1 million a day.
And that's pretty good. UK is doing the
It's
same
great.
thing too.
It's great. So they're going to be herd immunity in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get to 80% of the population, you've reached herd immunity.
That's awesome. Did you? Yeah, is that a thing?
That's the thing. I
That's
talked to the herd, and they told me that personally.
The herd?
No, that is true. I was like, hello, the herd.
And they're like, yes, it's 80%. Like, you don't even know what I'm gonna ask. They're like, everybody's been calling me about that.
And I'm like, all right, the herd.
All right, herd, you sassy little bitch.
You sassy little herd. I heard you. Oh my god.
Like, all right, you're not the first person.
You're not the first person to think of that joke.
Herd is just like so over it. He's done.
Herd is the word.
Herd's the.
Like, get out of here.
Like,
Like, fine, I'll go.
you're not part of the
But here's
herd.
the thing. Yeah, you're out of the herd. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with fucking Canada and why, like, well, what happened to us? We just missed it, or like?
No, I think we just were kind of. I think the government is being very cautious about it. That's all. I don't think they've missed it or anything. I think they're just being very cautious about it.
They're being more skeptical of the
I
vaccine.
think they're bringing Canada's like the conspiracy theories of theorists of countries.
I guess right now with the
But
What do you think? Are you an anti-vaxxer? Or are you gonna take it?
I'm definitely an anti-vaxxer. I already have autism. I don't want more of it.
You don't need more autism.
I don't need more autism. I don't think it's good for your skin. No, I'm definitely gonna take it for sure. If it comes out, fucking take it. Who cares? It's not like I don't care at this point. I'm not gonna make a stand. The vaccine's not gonna be where I draw the line. I was in the lockdown with everybody else, for a year. I'm not gonna act tough now.
You
but
gave
the
into every other order.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're gonna.
I'm not. The vaccine's not where I make my stance. If I wanted to, I would have done that with other things. But yeah, hopefully, all that it is, folks. Hopefully, mentally, you guys are good. Hopefully, you're sitting in there. How are things with you and Katie, by the way?
We're fine. She's been taking a few. No, we're good. She's been taking a little bit more time off too, because she had to burn her vacation days, even though there's nowhere to go vacation.
Yeah, that's the
anything
shitty part too.
So it's really tough for people that are frontline workers and are essential and have to use their. Have to use their vacation. She was going to go to Mexico this year with her family, had a trip planned. I was going to be at this club in Michigan, so I wouldn't have been there.
Oh, that would have been nice.
But that's my trip to Mexico.
Michigan.
It's honestly a club in the States.
Starts with an M.
Yeah. It starts. I'm happy with a club in Michigan, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was supposed to go do that vacation in Mexico. I'm sure we would have gone and done some other shit on the road together. And instead, now she's using her vacation days to sit here and
do
go
nothing.
crazy with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when she's not doing that, she's putting herself at risk and going to work. And she's hearing about other people getting the vaccine. She's like, I'm frontline. Where's my fucking vaccine? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that either. Because, like, there's people in her house. If she gave them COVID, they'd be done. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's pretty scary. So it's like, again, it's like, oh, we're not sure about this vaccine. Now you're not sure about people's, like, now you're worried all of a sudden. Like, we just put in the travel ban like a couple weeks ago. And now you're worried about Canadians' health?
Yeah,
like, get the fuck out of here.
That whole, like, not only travel ban, but, like, if you I heard, like, if you come, if you're coming out from outside of Canada through plane, you get to stay in a hotel for 3 days.
Should have been put in a year ago. Should have been put in a year ago. Like, what the fuck is
Stop
happening?
people from
for
traveling,
any of this happening. You know? So, I don't know. A lot of, like, they downplayed stuff for way too long and let people travel. These politicians that traveled over Christmas. So Christmas, when we were like, our numbers were brutal, so high. And by Christmas, we didn't have a travel ban.
Yeah.
Now numbers are through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, man, like, I don't know if I'm sure you feel the same way. It's almost like you don't want to talk about COVID and you don't want to talk about the pandemic.
Yeah.
But and this is the shitty part, is that the pandemic has took over our lives so much that there is nothing else to talk about.
No, what am I gonna talk about? There's
Yeah.
shows doing it now where they just wear masks on the fucking show. And you just have to be like, I can't even escape it
It's too much.
through my TV.
No.
You're just like, it's just around all the time.
Yeah.
But really, it's like, it's what they wanted. Because it was on the news 24 hours a day since the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the news. Even when this fucking ends, they're going to talk about it for another fucking year probably.
The documentaries.
Oh, there's gonna be all this bullshit about it. You'll never fucking get rid of it, even once you're rid of it.
I'm not looking forward to the documentaries that will come
all
out.
these
They're
bullshit
gonna be so
takes
bad.
on it.
Oh.
So he's bullshit takes and like rom-coms, but they had COVID, or like all this fucking dumb shit that makes no sense and it's nothing to do with like what people went through.
What actually went through. I think Michael Bay made a movie.
Right. Where the Ninja Turtles fight COVID.
The Transformers too.
They all
You really
team up.
cannot tell the difference between his movies, of like without the CGI that's being in front of you. It's like, is it about the turtles? Like if
Or is it the turtles
there
or
was
the
a
robots?
scene, if there
Yeah.
was a scene that didn't have either the robots or the turtles, you will never know which Michael Bay movie it is, because they look the same.
It's the same.
There's a overly hot, sexualized young girl
And
in
that
there.
will be it. There'll be like Megan Fox fights COVID.
Fights
or
COVID, and
something
it's like
that.
legitimately not what anybody went through, but it's just the basic, like, easy example of what people went through with COVID. Like, oh my god, my date.
But
can't-
really, even when they do show a documentary where it shows people like losing their savings or like losing their lives and stuff like that, we'll all be like, oh, that's terrible.
And you're like,
we'll all
oh.
watch it on Netflix and we'll be like, that's terrible. But like, will anybody actually hold politicians' feet to the flames?
No, absolutely
Does
not.
anybody ever fucking answer for anything?
No, nobody ever
So-
answers for anything, and it's so much better.
So
and
watch your little documentary and feel
Yes.
bad for half a minute.
exactly,
And then do nothing.
exactly, and that's it. And it's so much easier and better to feel bad when, like, there's no pressure to act.
To do anything.
Right? When there's
yeah.
a documentary that shows that, you're the better person, because then you watch it and then you go on Facebook or Instagram and then make a
So
post.
eye-opening, and here's
I
my
watched
post.
this episode.
I'm an empath.
It really makes
sweet.
it really makes me remember how much tougher those times were. And then there were people that were truly suffering, and we chose not to listen to them. And instead, we were fighting amongst each other. Meanwhile, it's like those people they sicken me so much more than anybody else, because those are the ones that will probably, when things are happening right now, they're probably one of the ones that are like just either, just arguing and fighting about things that don't really necessarily matter to people.
All over Facebook.
All over
with
Facebook.
Their hot takes.
With their hot takes. But now that once the pandemic is over and we're in a better situation, now is when they flex all their empathy and sympathy for people that are suffering. It's like, a little too late,
Yeah, exactly.
But you look like a hero.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just like, how do I look good without doing anything good? That would be the big thing. But these guys never fucking.
It's like lazy charity. It's like very lazy charity.
It's only politicians who, like, when these crazy things come out about them, don't get canceled. You know what I mean? Because like other people get canceled over like racism and like sexual allegations and stuff like that. But you know who didn't? Like Justin Trudeau, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like nothing happened. Nothing happened. If an actor got caught in blackface in a party 15 years ago, they'd be gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll be.
But
over.
It happened to our prime minister.
Well, he's an elect person, right? Like that's not enough for him to not be able to do his job anymore. Because he's an elect person. I'm not saying that it's right that he's not canceled. I'm just saying that due to the nature of his job, it's going to take a lot more than that to get him to stop doing that. But as an actor, you just don't get hired.
You just don't get
to act anymore.
But he got rehired, right? Because he ran again.
Was that before or after he got?
No, he won. I think it had something to do with like people like begrudgingly voted for him to make sure that the conservatives were in
it was more like the
that.
lesser.
It was the lesser
blackface of the two.
Yeah, I guess. But really, it's like it just shows that both those parties are fucked. And then we claim to have like, we're not
more
a
than
two-party
two
system, but really we are.
Yeah.
Like, when's NDP getting in? You know what I mean?
You see a picture of Jagmeet?
With his hair down? My fucking wife talks about him too much.
Hot piece of ass, dude.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? No?
I like him. I'd vote for,
Yeah.
I'm more leaning towards like an NDP or like let's bring in the third party, see if they actually fucking do something.
But is your wife talking about him?
But yeah, she thinks he's really hot. She's like really into it.
Joanna thinks so too.
Yeah. He's a good looking guy. But I can't have that. I can't have.
It's very.
Because you can't. He can't be my leader. My wife can want to fuck other people, but she can't want to fuck my leader.
I love how like
you know what I mean.
I love how like now Justin Trudeau is not hot anymore, which like really bothers me because
because I never really thought he was like.
No, I think he's good looking. I think he's a good looking guy. I just don't like people like
he's better when his skin's a little darker. You know what I mean? Like,
I just don't like how people are throwing him under the bus now just because they're fed up with him, whatever. Now they moved on to Jagmeet.
So now they're like, oh, he's not hot.
Now they've moved on to Jagmeet Singh. But no, I think you're kind of jealous, and I'll tell you why.
Right. Okay.
It's because you have the same hair configuration.
Yeah.
You have long hair, he has long hair. You have a beard, and he has a beard.
Right. But I'm more successful.
I mean, sure, yeah, we can say that, but I'll tell you this:
I'm gonna be prime minister before he is.
I've been saying that. Everybody
knows that.
You go check my posts on Reddit. It's more like Jason's time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
But I was gonna say like he takes better care of himself.
What are you talking about?
Like his hair. Like it seems like
his hair.
It seems like he puts like a lot of more product in it.
Oh yeah, because he's a fancy boy.
Yeah, he's a fancy boy. Don't call our leader a fancy boy.
He's not our leader because he's not getting in.
No, he's not. No.
Canadians, as much as they complain, they stick to the two parties. That's what they do. They jump back and forth between conservatives and liberals. I wish that would change, but it's probably not gonna. But I don't know, because you have curly hair and you need to use more product because clearly you have the weaker hair because it's not just ready. You send me in the bush, bro. The bush.
You'll come out.
And I'm fine. I don't need a bunch of hair products to keep.
You do have that advantage, Joey. Yeah, the type of hair that you have doesn't need that much care.
Run your fucking fingers through it and get on with your day.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So Jagmeet's got to do all this bullshit to his hair, spend a bunch of money on products, the wastefulness, like, global warming's real, guys. So yeah, so who cares about the country?
Dude, I think
is
you
it
might
me
actually...
or is it fucking 50 product Singh? You know what I mean?
Oof.
It seems a little wasteful, if you ask me, man.
Dude,
somebody cares about the environment. His name's Jason.
Now you're going.
Jason Allen 2020.
That's what I was gonna say. You're going into Donald Trump territory now. You're like,
no, I'm not
like
Trump.
Calling Hillary Clinton fat and everything.
Did he call her fat? I think he called her crooked.
He probably something. He
called her crooked. Well, look, hey, I'm not the one who's like shitting in the world's mouth. You know what I mean? By being wasteful and using a bunch of products.
Yeah. I think you're just really upset that Katie thinks he's really hot.
Well, you know what? Like, maybe she wouldn't think he was so hot if he didn't have to use, if he didn't have all these products.
So it's his fault. He's
so
asking for it.
You're like, oh, I'm hot because I'm sponsored by Pantene Pro V. Well, why don't you just fucking, let's keep it natural here, bro. Because I got naturals, son. Why don't you look at that?
What do you use that's natural, though?
Just like one shampoo. Buddy, I could wash my hair.
That's not natural.
It's pretty natural. It's like pretty natural. Like, I don't have all these sprays and fucking diffusers.
You're talking about the habit is natural. I'm talking about, I thought you meant like the products are natural. It's like, no.
Oh. No. I don't know.
You're using chemicals, too.
Well, we're all using chemicals.
It's like it's natural.
That's the world.
To use one product.
It's more natural to use one product instead of being wasteful and using like a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
it's wasteful.
I hate to play the anti-white card here, my friend, but maybe that's what the beauty standard has been for so long.
This has nothing to do with beauty.
With your type of hair. Your type of hair has been the forefront of what hair should look like.
You know what I find beautiful? The world and nature, and just not like robbing it of its resources.
Oh, boy.
That's what I find beautiful.
Oh boy, you know what?
Jagmeet
Singh is going down.
I don't know, man. Maybe I care too much.
I think that's your problem. Your issue is you just like I kind of that's the cross that you're willing to bear.
I love the world.
It's too much.
What do you want?
You cry when you think about the world. How beautiful and blue it is.
That makes me feel
just like your eyes, your baby blue eyes.
Yeah, which are fucking. I just don't like at the beginning of all this, you apply that like I don't take care of myself, or I'm like eating sticks or something and just like scratching my ass. Like, there's no way that he takes better care of himself than I take care of myself.
Even if you did take care of yourself?
I've never seen him in Shed Gym once. I'll say that right. Like, from the top, I'll say that. I've never once seen him in Shed Gym.
Even if you definitely did take care of yourself, I can almost guarantee you that he has, just by the nature of his position and his job, he does take more care of himself
than me.
Absolutely.
In what way?
Like I said, first of all, the hair, it seems like he takes care of his hair. Like, he puts a lot more into it.
But that's wastefulness, and it's not like my hair is like ratty and falling out.
But we're not talking. We're not talking about wastefulness. We're just talking about.
What is your argument? Because like your argument is like, well, he has to do more to his hair. It's like, I guess, but if I did more to my hair, it's not gonna make much of a difference. My hair is already ready to go. You wash it and you run a comb through it.
You don't know. Maybe
what's wrong with it?
Maybe there would be.
No.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't. I'm not saying that there is, but I'm saying that there is a potential. There's a potential. Dude, 2 episodes ago, you were talking about your moles, and you were talking about you just quit smoking. Don't act.
My moles have nothing to do with it.
But like,
bring them into this.
You talk about you just quit smoking.
My 57 life partners.
Yeah, you had
and
to like.
Joanna, by the way,
you have 57 virgins.
How many moles, Joanna?
How many moles?
How many moles?
Just quit smoking. I've seen you crush a bag of chips on your own, so don't act.
Oh, Jagmeet's never eaten a bag of chips.
Well,
come on. Like, let's
We don't know.
Don't act like he's just like living off avocados and fucking.
He might.
Hairspray.
He might.
Or whatever the fuck he does.
He might be. Yeah, that's the thing. He might be. It seems like he's a man who I'm
a man. What does that mean? What does that mean, bro?
I haven't finished yet.
Yeah, we're all men.
I haven't finished yet.
All right.
I said he's a man, and no, he's a man who seems like he enjoys the finer things in life.
That's lame. That's not a man of the
We're
people.
not talking about if it's cool or not. That is not. You are the coolest of the cools.
Well,
right?
why not open with that instead of getting me all fucking worked up?
Hey, man, this is the kettle calling the kettle black.
You don't even know what I'm saying. It's a pot calling the kettle black.
Either way, I'm calling you the same thing that I would call
welcome to
myself.
Canada.
It's not that I'm like Mr. fucking fancy over here myself.
No, you're fancier than me, though. And you appreciate people that are fancy. That's the difference between us. If I see somebody who's fancy, I'm like, this motherfucker.
You hate
and
him?
you're like, one day I'll be him. You'll see. And I'm like, shut up, man.
I'm just imagining myself walking in brown shoes.
Yeah. You leave me for some fancy guy. I'm like, fuck you. You stay in the fucking dump with me.
I said,
you remember where you fucking
came from.
You know? So
I'm just kidding. No,
I don't get that.
You know. Here's the thing, though, man. I mean, I think that what your emotions right now are an indication of something that has nothing to do really with how you compare against Jagmeet Singh. I think it's just more that you are upset that
no, honestly,
that you find that somebody who is a potential leader, whether he becomes one or not. I think you just don't like the idea of somebody that is a leader who is also attractive. That's not what leaders are supposed to.
No, I really
be,
don't care.
I guess.
Here's the thing. In all seriousness, I do think that he would be a good leader in a lot of ways. I do respect his politics and I respect his stance on stuff. And he doesn't seem to put up with bullshit in those in the meetings at Parliament. And I really do respect that about them. What I don't respect is when somehow good looks is now associated with how many fucking colognes you have and how many different moisturizers you use and stuff like that. And I don't think that should be a measurement at all.
Because you want to be considered
good
looking
I am.
And don't want to, and you don't
natural,
do those
baby.
things. Yeah.
Big city natural.
Yeah.
Right here. So I don't get this whole oh, he's so hot. Because he plucks his fucking eyebrows. You know how quickly you'd be annoyed with that as a woman living with a guy who does all this extra shit and is taking up your bathroom and doing all this stuff? That's why you can't find anyone. That's why you'll die alone. You're looking at me like, do you pluck your eyebrows? You do. I see it now.
I do take care of myself. I do definitely do. I know I'm not saying that you don't.
Because I clearly do.
You do, with your Metallica shirt.
Within reason. Does that make me trash? Is this what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that I just, to me personally, I like to, kind of keep myself together and, groom myself and just really,
you love it.
I do enjoy pampering myself, here and there. But I mean, I don't really do it, me personally, the reason why I do it because I just like to be well put together.
And to look down on people.
And also just really look down on people that are ugly because that bums me out. I see somebody ugly and I'm like, it's not nice that you exist. That's not good.
I think politicians
should
have
Doug Ford
yeah, they should be eating the tuna sandwiches that the construction workers eat and all the bullshit that. It shouldn't be brie cheese and fucking something else fancy that I can't think about right now.
I really do appreciate that though. I really do appreciate.
I think it's a waste of money. It's
oh my god.
It goes back to wastefulness, right?
It's on sale. Okay.
No, that comes out of the taxpayer.
Come on, stop. Stop it.
So if you're getting all fancy with your meetings,
stop it.
You got charcuterie boards and all this bullshit.
Do they do that though?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I thought there was no food, no eating allowed in the parliament because I think there was a video of Justin Trudeau chewing, and then somebody was called them out, rat them out, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for eating." He stood up and said in front of everybody, "I'd like to apologize."
I had to apologize. That's
hilarious.
That is funny.
But no, I do think that part of being a really good like if you look at all the great leaders, most of them were good looking. JFK.
Was he like that great of a
For
leader?
that JFK?
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
I think he got the hype. I think that good looking sells
Oh,
you
see
more.
now you're trying to rewrite history.
But like,
because
we'll do it.
this
Like,
is a bit,
let's
this,
like,
this
well,
is gross now.
Let's
This
look
is
at leaders
disgusting.
that actually got stuff done. Let's look at leaders that actually got stuff done. Abe
FDR?
Lincoln, not
Abe-
exactly a stud.
But tall guy.
Hideous.
I think he
Not
did
right.
the
Come
Honest
on.
Abe thing.
Winston Churchill,
Oh boy,
that drunk.
Oh, racist too.
Was he racist? I thought he fought against
He hated
the Nazis.
Yeah, everybody fought against the Nazis.
Not everybody, not the Nazis.
Oh,
Not
no,
Gina Carrera.
Gina Carrera loved
Fuck her
them.
name is.
She loved the Nazis.
She loved them.
God bless.
You know, not the best looking guy. Did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, not exactly a handsome man.
Yeah, not an ugly
the-
one.
Not like ugly, but not like some gorgeous
Malcolm
dude.
X was not bad looking.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you Malcolm X.
Yeah, he was a looker. Muhammad Ali Clay.
Che Guevara, good looking guy.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, sure. Wait, like we're putting like, are we saying politicians or are we saying athletes?
Well, a leader figure in a
leader
way.
okay,
People
okay.
look up to. People looked up to Muhammad Ali,
Yeah, okay.
Malcolm X.
Yeah. I still stand by like who's the best?
Who's the best what?
Best like leader.
Who's the best leader of all time?
Or can we take like advancements too, like medical advancements into
What do you mean?
like Sir Frederick Banting, who invented insulin, not a good looking guy, kind of a nerdy.
Oh no! We're
nose-faced
not talking about
dude.
inventors or anything. We're talking about people who were
Who are, like,
leaders that
leaders.
people
Okay,
looked up to
okay,
for
okay.
social and political stuff.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm not talking about like the guy that invented peanut butter. I'm not
Well, no,
bringing
not
him
peanut
into,
butter, but like stuff that makes a difference in people's lives for
Yeah,
the
the
better.
guy that invented the wheel. Let's see what he looks like.
Hideous.
Probably hideous. He's probably hideous. He was around. He was like,
For
oh,
sure, 'cause
I think I can tumble. Let's make something that looks like me.
He modeled it after his body. That's right. That's how it started.
Him and his wife.
Matching wheels.
That's the other thing too. If you're a leader, do you marry an ugly woman or a beautiful woman? What do you do?
I don't know. You just marry who you marry. I don't know.
I think it's
man.
important.
Is it important?
Because you just want to marry somebody that's not good looking, so you're going to get distracted.
You know what's weird? I opened up for, Ken Shamrock because he did like a spoken word tour.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this or not. Oh, fuck. I don't even know if I should say this, but it sounds like he listens.
Ken doesn't listen.
I don't think he listens. But Ken Shamrock, he's like, he was like a famous fighter and stuff, like a great athlete, right? His wife
One of the
was like
best.
kind of an overweight lady, and she was also a smoker. Like we went out, I was smoking at the time. And we went out and had like a couple smokes together, and I thought it was so weird that
So
I'm like,
bizarre.
you have this like superb athlete husband, or he was back in his day, and he still fights once in a while,
Yeah.
I think. And I think they've been married a while, so it was like, wow, you were always just like this like average lady who just did whatever. You're like, wow, health is his thing.
In all
I'm gonna
fairness,
smoke
though,
and do
if you
whatever.
just see a picture of Ken Shamrock's face without his body, you would never guess that he takes care of himself or
Yes,
he's an
it's
athlete.
true. It's
he
true.
does have like
no,
a.
but he's in great shape. Like, dude,
Oh,
even when
absolutely.
I met him, he's like deep in his 50s, and he was still like just a
No,
solid
that's
dude.
the lifestyle that he
Yeah,
loves.
yeah.
He
No,
he always makes sure that he's in shape,
in
right?
great shape,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's why I don't understand when I see like ex NBA players or something like that, and they're fat, and it's like,
I-
dude, what the fuck? You
happened
barely
to
kept
you?
it together. Like you didn't want.
No, it does bother me when I see like an ex-athlete like all frumpy now. It's another reason. There's many reasons I respect them, but one of the reasons I respect Shannon Sharp is like you'll see him
Yeah.
on a panel show, and you're like, you could play right now.
Yeah.
You've been out of the league for like 20
Same
years.
thing with Terrell Owens.
You could play right
Terrell
now.
Owens
like, you
is
look
still
great.
ripped.
They're both those guys are just jacked, and I'm like, holy shit.
No. There's a lot of especially NFL players. Like even
They stay in great
Michael
shape.
Strahan, he still like looks
For sure.
phenomenal. A lot of these guys are just in great shape
Do
still.
you think he ever slept with Kelly Ripa?
She was like, I'm a bit torn about this because I think Kelly is she's kind of hot.
Okay. Oh, so what are you torn about?
I'm just torn about because like there are days when she doesn't look as hot, and I'm like, is this the girl that I fell in love with yesterday? You know. But but I do think
it changes from day to day on the show.
Every day I'm just torn. I watch Kelly. I'm like, you're killing me. You're tearing me apart, Kelly. But I would definitely love the idea of him actually having sex with her.
I don't know if he's married or like what's going on. I think she's married, but it's like it's Michael Strahan.
Come on.
Like if you're a real New Yorker, I think you let Michael Strahan have sex with you.
100%. Super Bowl, baby.
2 Super Bowls.
I think he was with one.
Oh, was he only with one?
Yeah, one, yeah.
The first one.
With the first one. And then the second one, I think he was already retired.
Okay.
But
still.
But yeah, no, man, still like, against Tom Brady, dude. He was
against a perfect
that defense
season
was
Patriots.
fucking insane. Yeah. Oh, for sure. If you're in New York, you're a fucking Michael Strahan.
You have to. I think it's the law. Do you remember Jason Strahan?
It's the law.
I'd make it a law.
It's so funny.
Dude, if I was running government in New York, I'd be like, the Strahan law.
What about that? You have to fuck him. Really?
Yeah, that's the law.
I'm not even a fan of the Giants. I just live here.
I do it about uglier New Yorkers. I'd make people fucking fuck Buscemi. You know what I mean?
Steve Buscemi?
So like, yeah, be grateful.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah, be grateful. Yeah, fuck his corpse. Show some respect. Be grateful I'm only making you fuck Strahan. Like Steve Buscemi.
Lips?
Well, no, he was like a firefighter before. So he came out of like retirement and helped in the burning buildings.
Yeah.
You got to fuck that guy now.
Yeah, you have to.
And look at him.
Oh,
you
yeah. Imagine if you're like, you had to fuck a firefighter. And
and you're like flipping through the calendar, and then Buscemi
stereotypically like good looking, right?
Sure,
guys, right?
Yeah.
And then you like see Steve Buscemi, you're like, really, dude? Like, how did he? Like, I would love to see Steve Buscemi in a firefighter uniform, like with the big red hat and then
hilarious.
The big yellow. It's like he's not the big guy.
Can you imagine being in the building in 9/11, and let's say you're on the right side of things.
Yeah, that's on the right side of history. Not on the plane.
You're not on the plane. You're in the building. And Steve Buscemi comes in and gets you out of there. You're going to be like, this isn't real. This isn't happening. I'm on a prank show. I'm being punked.
You would see me like, can you go call for help? And he's like, no, I'm
Steve, can you go get somebody? Go tell Quentin Tarantino to yell cut and fucking bring me a sandwich. Like what's
Reservoir
happening?
Dogs.
Could you imagine?
He's like,
fucking Buscemi gets you out of a building.
Well, thank God he's good. He's a good actor. I mean, it's one of those things where it's very rare where you're like, don't quit your day job. But like with Steve, it's like, please do quit and do something else.
Yeah, there's an ugly person who, against all odds, stepped up and was a great actor. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. But we're not talking about talent, though. You're just like, here's the thing, though. You're not even an ugly guy. What are you talking? Who are you trying to defend here?
Come on. I just... here's what I'm trying to defend.
What are you trying to defend?
Myself, when you say stuff like, clearly he takes better care of himself than you because he owns 50 hair products. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
If you are already a good-looking person and you extra take care of yourself more than the average guy...
No, he probably isn't a good-looking person, which is why he has to go extra.
Well, regardless, we'll never know. Because right now...
I'm going to find out.
We'll find out.
I'm going to deep
look
dive
up
that
those
fucking
pictures.
gram, baby.
Just go there as you fucking suck on that CBD
Buddy,
thing.
CBD helps with the pain from the fucking workouts.
Shout out CBD.
Shout out to the CBD pen I got at. I don't even remember what dispensary it was, but it's nice.
Anyways.
Yeah.
We'll do a deep dive and then we'll reconvene next week.
Yeah, on Jagmeet's fucking Instagram.
So we'll figure out. Hopefully, I'll try to defend Jagmeet, and he's gonna try to bring down Jagmeet, and we'll see what happens.
Again, I agree with his politics. I don't agree that like somehow using a bunch of products makes you this smoke show, and that you're better than a fucking beautiful natural like myself.
Just a natural masterpiece, the way God intended, right?
Just baby, the nature boy.
That's
what they call me. That's my name and only my name.
Yeah, because Ric Flair was Nature Boy. You were the Nature Boy.
The Nature Boy. I was the Nature Valley Boy. I crumble in your mouth.
Cliff bar. All right.
All right. This is so dumb.
Well, this is stupid. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you guys next week. Hang in there. That's been us. Bye.
Bye.
I'm getting